Your main objective in Killer Klowns from Outer Space, the game, is dependent on which team you get randomly placed on, but we'll start here with humans, in which there are 7 of them on a team. As a human, your main objective is to escape the match from one of the 5 exits, 4 of which you can find items to open the exits, and the 5th exit is a last resort that only appears in the final 30 seconds of the match. Humans have to search all sorts of crates, boxes, drawers, cabinets, lockers, and more throughout the map to find items. You have 4 slots to hold items in, so choose your items carefully. Your 4th slot can hold a large item such as a fire axe, a shotgun, a baseball bat, etc. Basically big items found in usually larger boxes. Now that you know how to find items, let's get back to the main objectives. There's the bridge escape, which requires a weapon to break down its barricades, and then a key. Once it's fully unlocked, walking on the bridge causes it to deteriorate, so cross carefully before it crumbles down and can no longer be used by teammates. Also beware, even clowns can walk on the bridge to collapse it quicker. The tunnel exit requires a gas can, which is carried without taking up a slot, but you move slower while carrying it. And a keycard. This exit opens for a few seconds once the keycard is inserted and only allows 3 people before it closes. The boat exit requires a gas can and a spark plug and allows for 3 people to leave. Then there's the portal exit, which requires 2 spark plugs and is held open for as long as you can hold down the button. Once you let go, you must quickly run into the portal before it shuts off. And much like the other exits, this portal only allows 3 people to leave. During the last 30 seconds of the match, a truck will crash through one of the walls and notify everyone of its location. You must sprint to it and try to get out before the Clownpocalypse laser beam spreads from the center of the map and kills everyone. It's recommended to be in the center of the map when the last 30 seconds is happening, so you can make your way in any direction that's needed. The clowns are trying to do 2 things to you: either wrap you up in a cotton candy cocoon and bring you to a generator so that they get shorter cooldowns and spawn more NPC lackeys on the map. Also, if they get 16 cocoons on generators, the Clownpocalypse final 30 seconds comes early. Or the clowns will be trying to just straight up kill you with weapons. If you happen to die, you can play minigames to earn weapons and items for your team, or to keep for yourself for when you're hopefully spawning back. It's up to your team to find the Resurrection Beacon, which is a tall tower with a blue light shooting out of it. If they activate this machine, all dead players will spawn back in. Hopefully they don't just waste it on one person early, but instead bring a large amount of dead players back. Also, whether you just spawn in for the first time or you spawn in after a resurrection, clowns can easily track you when you sprint or make loud noises, so be very cautious about the sound you make. Now let's talk about some of the items you might find on the map. Firstly, sharp weapons such as the knife, the fire poker, and the fire axe can break you out of a cocoon, so those are some of the best. The pan, baseball bat, stick, and a few other items can be charged up to deal massive damage and stun clowns. Also, throwing bricks and other objects at a clown's nose can stun them briefly. If a clown is knocked down and completely dazed, a single stab of a sharp weapon like a knife to their nose will kill them, or a single gunshot. And they won't spawn back for a good minute, so use that time wisely. There's an air horn, which is really loud, but when used on a clown, it will completely stun them for a few seconds, allowing you to run or line up an easy nose shot or headshot for critical damage, nose being the most critical. Items also tell you what they do when you grab them, so you don't have to worry if you can't remember them. The soda can is one of the best because you can infinitely sprint without wasting stamina as much as you want for a short amount of time after drinking one. By the way, if you sprint past your point of exhaustion, your max stamina may go down, so don't do that. Oh yeah, and doors can be locked but also easily broken down by clowns in one shot by a lot of their weapons, but it's helped a few times in a chase. Windows can be fast vaulted where you take damage because you break the glass and take damage through the window and you make a lot of noise, or you can quietly vault them safely. Boomboxes and other noise-making devices can be turned on, which will show the clowns the same audio rings as if a human was sprinting there, so they make for good distractions. Now let's talk a bit about the HUD. You've got the amount of humans that are alive at the top of the screen and the amount of clowns that are alive, and the amount of humans wrapped up in cotton candy that you can go rescue. You'll be able to see the cotton candy cocooned teammates on your screen, so you can easily go rescue them. If they spend enough time wrapped up though, they'll die, so save them quickly if it's safe. You can also speak in proximity chat around you. There's not currently key bindings, but if you go to the VoIP option, the push to talk button, it'll tell you in the description. But be careful when talking in game because the clowns can hear you too.
Wait, can I throw something at you for a challenge? Sorry.
Sure.
Do it. I suck at throwing. What the hell?
Your teammates luckily will have an icon above them if they are carrying an escape item, so you can stick with them if you want to reserve a spot in their escape attempt. The radar on the bottom right can help you find your way sometimes. Mostly I would use it if I find an exit on a certain side of the map, let's say the east side. I'll know to return in that direction once I have the proper tools to leave. This is your noise meter for how much noise you're making, your health bar, which is obvious as well, and your stamina, which you've already learned can drain while sprinting, but also can drain its maximum if it depletes to 0 and you still attempt to sprint. Your emote button is shown on the side here, just in case you don't want to use a mic. And down here is your flashlight button, which I think is useless and just makes hiding harder. At least in Evil Dead the game, it would make items appear in front of you and highlight them. But honestly, in this game, I don't know what it's supposed to do. I think it's just supposed to be a light. So if the game is really dark for you, go ahead and use that. But who knows, maybe you can learn Morse code and communicate with your teammates across the map with it. When you first spawn in, an area will be marked for all humans. It will have a bonus loot and usually really good stuff. Standing in the marked area will also highlight all the exits for a time. It's up to you to go find exactly what those exits are though. Luckily, if you find a compass, you can also get the same effect and see all the exits. Once you go up to an exit and find out what it is, it'll be discovered for you, and whenever you use a compass, it'll actually show what exit that is. If you find a flare, you can light it to highlight a meetup area for your team. Typically, this is used if you have an exit open and want more people to leave with you. Anyways, that's it for the humans. You can customize them pretty extensively at the menu, which is a ton of fun. And there, it also shows you different stats based on the role you choose. Although in the early access state before the day 1 patch, these stats actually don't do anything on the human side. Strange, but I'm sure when the game releases, this will change. Clowns, however, have all unique stats, and they actually work. So let's move on to them.
Hello, Skibidi Toilets!
I'm out of here, fuck that.
When you first spawn in as a clown, your main objective should be to look for audible noise rings to track humans and go hunt them down. Cocoon them up and hook them to generators, or kill them with your secondary weapon. Going to the scoreboard will show a skull next to all dead humans, so you can easily keep track of how many might spawn back if the resurrection machine is activated. I'd recommend as one of your first tasks to go find the machine quickly before any of the humans do. Use your cotton candy weapon to wrap it up. All exits can also be wrapped up, making it harder for humans to get through them, as they'll have to tear away the cotton candy to start interacting with the exit or the resurrection machine. Setting up a nice patrol route between a few exits and the resurrection machine is probably the best thing you can do as a clown, periodically checking if any of your cotton candy has been messed with or torn away. The quicker you wrap people up and hook them, the more lackeys you will spawn in. Lackeys will latch onto humans and make noise when they spot them. It can also help you carry cocoons to generators. Your abilities will slowly come to you as the match progresses and have a quicker cooldown if you put more cocoons on generators. For now, I'll just talk about the base abilities since this is a beginner's tutorial. Your main ability that you want to use whenever you can is your jump. This allows you to jump all the way across the map and can help you quickly catch up to a running human or check on an exit or the resurrection machine if you're too far away. Your LOL ability is your way to recover health over time. Activate it and you'll begin to run faster and heal. Pro tip, you're invulnerable while laughing out loud, and your weapon will still reload while you're doing it. This might be patched out later since it's very overpowered. Lastly, you start with Lure, which can be used on a close enough human to bring them toward you while you take out a weapon and destroy them or turn them into a tasty treat. Your HUD is mostly the same as the human HUD that I went over, but also has this to show how many cocoons are hooked up to generators. Remember, if you get 16, the Clownpocalypse comes early, and you should probably go defend the final 30-second exit. You can break doors, search hiding spots, camp people's cocoons so no one saves them, break windows to make them sharp and unsafe, break radios and TVs and other noise traps so that they don't get set off and distract your teammates, and go wild as a clown. That's really it. So hopefully you learned something from this beginner's guide, and let me know if you want to see some more advanced tips in the future. Anyways, that's all for now. Hope you enjoyed, and have fun clowning around or running from them. I'll see you all in the next one.